So we're Pandafan. I'm Delaney.
I'm Stella.
I'm Grace.
So Grace and I we went to high school and middle school
and
together.
middle school
yeah.
together. It's been a very long-lasting relationship.
Yeah, on Long Island. And we met Stella at Purchase.
Yeah, they were roommates freshman year, and then it was love at first text. And
at orientation.
After I stopped leaving my Birkenstocks in the middle of the room, that's
when the true love began.
Stella was here the whole time, and then we were like, wait, why did we ask Stella to be in our band?
Yeah. Well, I think you guys didn't ask because I think I had very different
I didn't know if you wanted to do
leanings musically than you guys. So I think we were all like unsure if it was gonna work at first.
Yeah. It was more of a band-aid at first, but I think then it sort of gelled. Like mine and Grace's songwriting was changing anyway, and like the band is sort of going in a different direction, so that Stella's place in the band made more sense.
I didn't come into school having listened to as much folk music as either of them.
You brought in a lot of other influences.
That's good.
You a jazzy lady. She just like brought something totally different to all of us.
Store my tricks. My truth was broken. She my only faith.
Delaney developed her own thing from a very young age, but then she got me to start singing, like, I don't know, not very long before we started the band. I didn't sing, and then Delaney was like, you're gonna sing with me now. And I was like, yes,
because that's how it works with Delaney.
So then my musical style really evolved with Delaney. So when we sing together, it's like a unit, because I've never ever performed by myself before. It's Delaney and me, which is already a one thing, and then Stella comes in and it turns into this whole new lovely little flower.
When I met them, I was like working on like an almost electronica project with like someone from the production major, so like we're very different, but it works.
But love played such candor. Ooh, there's a gun in the attic. Let me go grab it.
Okay, he wants it to ask us questions.
My arms could not.
Well, eventually we're going to put out this EP, Ocean B-Sides, which we put out a single from it. It's called Selkie Song. Ocean B-Sides will come out.
It is going to come out, and it's going to be amazing. It's going to be sort of lo-fi kind of collection of songs that we've written throughout the years about the ocean and just ocean themed generally, and we're going to have lots of really old pictures and a multimedia kind of thing. There's going to be a website, and we're really excited about that one.
We're not as deep as the tide's eternal ray.
I think maybe super long albums are gonna become extinct. I think people do respond really well to EPs, especially if you aren't super established.
Yeah, if you don't know much about the band, it's so much easier to get into them when you just have a short little preview of what their whole sound is like.
Right, like 5 or 6 songs. Yeah, to be like consistently releasing things is good, and you can't really do that with a full-length album. You can't put a full-length album out every 2 months.
Also, I don't know, there's so many really great albums coming out that are like a whole big unit, not just like a collection of songs that everyone likes put together. I don't think it's ready to be phased out yet.
Currents pulled her back beneath the waves.
Well, maybe making it multimedia, like what we're doing.
Yeah.
Just having more things for you to pay attention to while you have to sit down and listen to the whole album. But, well, because records, you had like this really big, giant thing to look at and really examine. You had the artwork all nice and blown up.
I think also like giving people the option, an album
or singles. Like you pick the singles off an album so that the singles can stand alone, but the album can also work as a piece.
I think people really like the idea of like concepts and themes and like aesthetics. Releasing like little mini like vinyl looking CDs that are like pink, you know, and it's like very like visual and memorable.
My lips could not compare to the
If you kind of let it be known what you're gonna sound like, I think that could probably help. No one wants to go to just some random band and listen when they don't know what they're about to expect.
It's like the whole thing, like, don't judge a book by its cover, but like what else are you going to judge it by?
Exactly, you're going to.
You know, like, you have to.
Also, being really solid live.
Yeah,
because
super important.
not everybody can do that. You know, everyone definitely can put out like a cool sounding record on SoundCloud, but whether that translates to a show, it's still, I feel like, a similar ratio to before all of this happened, because that's what, you know, catches people's attention, keeps people coming back, telling their friends like, oh wow, that was such a great show. Yeah, you have to still be able to like give people an experience.
I think that's a lot of where real fans come from too. I don't think that people who like your tracks on SoundCloud or, you know, happen to follow you on Instagram, those aren't the people that are going to move your career forward. I think it's the people that you touch in a live setting.
I also think that the more people who are going to be participating in it, the more connections you have to other musicians. So it's kind of like it's just easier to form a community and boost each other up. Even though there are so many of you, that's just that many more people to come to your shows and get your name out there.
my arms when I awoke deep.
I mean, it's so important to get yourself out there and have an image. I hope that when an audience listens, they're not just listening to you because they like the way you look on stage or they like, I don't know.
The way your Instagram looks.
Exactly. I hope that they listen to the music after we draw them in with our cute outfits.
I think as far as like staying power, like keeping people interested, like you have to have good songs.
Right. Yeah.
Like I think Lana Del Rey is a really good example of someone who has their aesthetic very much together, but like the songs are also really good, really catchy. I just think if you want to keep people interested, keep selling records, keep having people come to your shows, you have to be good. Because eventually people find out that you're not.
Maybe you could almost think of brand as like the vehicle for the music.
Exactly, it's
you
your
know,
selling point.
like exactly. Like it's the first thing that people will see and relate to. So like it needs to connect to the music so that they will go to the music.
Yeah, well, it's like your brand is your advertisement, and but no one's going to buy the product if it's no good. But
Right.
also no one's going to buy the product if they don't know about it. So they're both really important.
Yeah, exactly.
Spending too much time alone.
I think it depends on what kind of artist you want to be. You can make the choice to be political. You can make a choice to be Taylor Swift, who doesn't say anything about anything. I think it's your choice. As a person, you know, you can still be going to marches, donating to charities, helping to write legislation, whatever. But as an artist, I don't know if you are obligated to incorporate that into your art.
I think if there's an obligation, it becomes ingenuine.
Yeah, that's
And
definitely
like
true.
an ingenuine art is useless.
As a folk musician, you know, music of the folks, if there's a lot of political unrest within what people are experiencing, I think that not necessarily it should be an obligation, but it would definitely inspire you, and I would feel pushed to write about it. I do feel pushed to write about it. And like punk music too. Like if you're just writing about being angry for no reason, then I don't really care.
I think also if you can do that, like that's a big accomplishment to write a good protest or write a good political song. Like it's not easy.
I think like you make art about the things that you care about.
I've come up for air.
It used to be that like you couldn't really have decent recordings without however much money, and you couldn't really have that much money without a record label backing, and so everything was decided by executives. Now, if something is really good, it moves forward without any of that money behind it.
It's like gives you a higher population of people who can do it, which means that you're less special, but it also means that everyone gets an opportunity. So you just have to be that much better. If there are that many more people, then you just have to be really good at what you do.
I think it's good because it democratizes the industry.
It lets people discover organic music a lot easier because you can just write it and record it in your house and share it with people.
It kind of is like folk music in a way, in a sense that it's genuine music of people being shared with other people. You know, they're just sharing the music that they like, that speaks to them, which I think is what folk music is about. And not just the genre, but the concept of it.
And green and gray, it's been so.
I think accessibility, it's all about accessibility. I mean, 200 years ago, the number of people that were given the privilege to be musicians is so much smaller than it is now. And there are so many more options now of ways to be a musician that didn't exist.
Yeah, I mean, I guess if we have to put it in terms of the best or the worst, I would say it is the best time because artists are really important. And without art, I feel like what is the point? I don't think artists should stop creating art because things get difficult.
That's when you create art.
Yeah.
That's when you need it.
That's when you need it the most.
Right.